when you hit the bottom, this thing.
Hello class today. My name is Ulysses Santos and this is my team right here. Could you introduce yourself?
I'm Chris Messiana.
I'm Andia. I'm Katie Bow.
I'm Michael.
Today we're going to be talking about teamwork. So this is our school right here. This is actually the business building that we are in today. And there's multiple contractors that come in and network with each other to actually make the building complete. So if one person were to build this whole building, it would take about 10 years and we wouldn't be sitting right here. So the importance of teamwork and everybody communicating with each other made it happen today. This is actually my team right here building the best and the tallest tower because we worked together and we thought about different attributes to make the tallest building for our class. This is me right here playing with my team in high school football. I'm the running back, and as you see, there's one of my blockers right there. And if you don't know football, it's 11 on 11, and if it was myself versus 11 people, obviously I wouldn't get anywhere, so I would need my team to just succeed and to score a touchdown, of course. This is a rowing track team, which Christopher Messiano's in the back right there. My teammate, that's my team for my presentation. And as you see, we all throwing up our hands because we won together and every person put their effort in to get the final trophy and the NJAC champion. This is a couple pencils right here. So this is a physical example of how teamwork. Could you break this one pencil right here?
Break it?
Yeah, break it. It's pretty easy, right? So this is my teammates right here. And if you break all of these together,
I can't break it.
see how teamwork right there is stronger than being presented by yourself. And with more team members, you actually have more brain power. So that's more people throwing in their ideas into the pot and making each other better for our presentation that we have today and giving insight on all of our ideas. This is teamwork in the military right here. You see the team jumping out the airplane. Of course, they're going to need somebody to fuel the airplane, someone also to fly the plane, the people to let the troops off the airplane, because if one person would do it, he would fly up there, jump off, and the airplane's going to go crashing. Obviously, it won't because it has a tip. This is Fortnite right here. A lot of people know about the game Fortnite. So there's two things right here. It's solo versus squad. Solo, you're by yourself against 100 people, and squad, you're on the mics. You're engaging with each other to get the win. Frankie, what's easier to win, solo or squad?
Squad.
Thank you. This is me right here. Teamwork in the office. So I used to work for Infinity, and once you buy a car, you go through the salesmen, the sales managers, and you finally finish off with me delivering the vehicle to you and showing you the different technologies that's in the car. So without a team, that wouldn't be possible. And also in that vehicle is an engine. So all the engine components, they all work together and they make the car run. Obviously, if you have like a missing part, then you're not gonna go anywhere. So teamwork right there is very important. Also, this is a rap group, Migos. As you know, they came up in the past few years because they were together and making their music all all collaborative, and that's what makes their rap group one of the greatest upcoming groups, just almost like the modern day Beatles.
Modern day Beatles and Migos.
Relationships are also a big team thing. So relationships really go well if you have 50-50 teamwork and you put your effort in. If there's one person who puts 75 and one person who puts 25, obviously that team is not going to succeed as much as a team that would work 50-50 with each other. So motivation also, a team motivates each other. If you're not feeling confident and not willing to go and present, I just motivated my team just to go today and present so we could get it over with and show you this. So working with people, you also build characteristics that you learn, such as like confidence. Maybe one of my teammates weren't as confident, and I told her, like, look, you have to smile and just be a little patient while we're presenting, and we could succeed. So working with teams, you also build different characteristics that will influence yourself. Working with teams, there's also healthy risk-taking, as in we're all taking this whole presentation together, and it's not just on me. I have a little more stress because the stress is split in between 5, so we could overcome more goals. So if it was myself being that one fish against a shark, it wouldn't be as powerful as my whole team would be in this picture right here. Also, this promotes ownership. Teams, they're split in different groups. So if we don't feel like there's a leader or someone that overpowers each other, we all have the same input and the same authority to promote ourselves to each other. Also, teams gives yourself a new perspective. Maybe I might think a slide is really well, and well, so networking today. So my teammate Mike, actually, he got me a job or an internship at Store Fitter, and so if I never got in a team with him or networked and talked to him about that, he opened up new opportunities for me as a student. So let me ask you this question: would you rather type a 10-page paper by yourself, or split the 10-page paper into 2 5-page papers with your partner right there? Split it, okay. Would you rather move 100 sandbags, or have a group of 5 teammates move 20 sandbags? 20 sandbags. So my teammate right here, Christopher, is going to talk about communication.
So communication is a huge part of teamwork. Without communication, your team isn't going to work at all. Communication is the effective conveying of messages through different mediums. You can talk. So this chart here shows, it's a circular chart of communication. It kind of makes communication look kind of difficult, but it's really not that difficult. The sender formulates a message, sends the message through a channel, and then the receiver interprets the message and sends feedback back to the sender. Now, all those points have potential for misunderstanding, which comes into play. Channel richness is another thing to take account. Choosing the correct channel to send your message. The channel is kind of a medium of exchange in the sense of communication. So channels can be low in richness or high in richness, and that all comes into play. Now, communication, you can kind of look at it as a pie, and tackling, eating a whole pie by yourself is kind of hard. You're not going to feel good afterwards, you're going to feel terrible. But the good thing about pies is they can be cut into slices that are easily manageable. So if you look at communication as a pie, and you cut it into 4 different slices, listening, creating a message, choosing the right channel, and delivery are what I think are the 4 main parts of communication. Now it's much easier to eat a pie in smaller slices than it is as a whole pie. So listening is the first part of the pie. This is probably one of the most important parts, because if you're not listening, you want your message to be heard, so you should listen to when someone else is communicating with you. Listening isn't just sitting there and paying attention, it's actively listening. You want to be engaged, giving feedback with the person you're communicating with. Choosing your message, you have 170,000 words in the English language to create a message with. Now, you're not only limited to words, you can use symbols, you can use nonverbal messages to send your message. And words have power, so you want to choose the right words to convey your message in the correct way. The next part is choosing the correct channel. The right tool makes the job a lot easier. Choosing the correct channel is going to make your message send and receive a lot better. You don't want to have a face-to-face conversation.
Silence your cell phones.
A face-to-face conversation with someone and deliver a huge, because they're not going to remember it. And then finally, delivery. We have you delivering your message to your audience. So confidence is a huge part of delivery. No one's going to want to believe someone who's not confident. It's a lot easier to buy into a message if someone delivering it's confident. The other thing The next part is team communication. Team communication is a little bit more harder than dealing with one-on-one communication because you have a whole team now you have to communicate with, and everybody's individual. Each person's going to interpret your message a different way, so it's a little bit harder to send your message to a whole team. Now, some ways to make team communication a little easier. Open door policy is something that it's where you want to be honest, you want to be effective, and you want to respond. You want to be able to communicate with your team members openly. You don't want to have any barrier where you're going to be afraid. You want to give two-way feedback. Constructive criticism is a huge part of this. You want to be able to not only give constructive criticism, but receive constructive criticism. A lot of people can't receive constructive criticism because they take it personally, and really, if you're in a team, you want to better each other. So constructive criticism comes into a huge part, two-way feedback. Choosing an appropriate channel for your team. If everyone in your team doesn't have a phone or a computer, you can't. It's a lot harder to communicate with each other than if everyone has a phone or a computer or certain apps. A lot of people like to use GroupMe. We use GroupMe. Now, the NFL is a good example of teams because there's a lot of moving mechanisms. There's a lot of behind the scenes. The Eagles have a very good on-the-field communication, especially on the defense. They're open with each other. They let each other know how they feel. If you're doing a bad job, you're going to get let known that you're doing a bad job. If you're doing a good job, you're going to get let known that you're doing a good job. Players feel comfortable with each other because they know how the other players feel, and they know what to expect from the other players. Another part is the coach-to-player communication is very open. Nick Foles came up to Coach Pennerson and requested the Philly special, and he had enough trust in Foles that he did that. Another where communication comes into play is in video games. Fortnite again. There's solo, duo, and squads. Now, solo and duo are easier to win, but it's a lot harder if you don't have good communication skills with your team. If you say, oh, there's a guy in that bush over there next to that tree. Well, what bush? What tree? Where's the guy? And by the time you figure it out, you're probably going to get killed by the guy in the bush by the tree. So that makes video games a lot harder because of communication. Politics is another huge part where communication is a team effort. There's a whole team dedicated to a presidential administration. Now, if a presidential administration has good communication skills, they're going to be able to send a message efficiently and get things done. The Obama administration was good at this, sending the same message over and over again. The Bush administration was also good at this. They swayed public opinion and led us into a war by having good communication skills. The Trump administration, on the other hand, not to get political, but they don't have the best communication skills. Secretary of Defense may say one thing, and Secretary of Homeland Security may say another, and then in other cases, Pence may say something different to Trump. To wrap it all up, communication is hard, but it doesn't have to be difficult as long as you break it into smaller portions, listening, choosing the right message, choosing the right channel, and your delivery of your message. So next, Anne is going to talk about the next portion of teamwork.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about the diversity of capabilities that you have in your group. Each member of your group has gone through different life experiences. They've had different jobs, different people influence them. I know each of my team members have brought something different and new to the table, and we're all really, really different, but together we fit like puzzle pieces. So each individual person brings their own creative ideas to the table. I found that whenever I'm in a group, and every group has that sort of leader, the appointed leader, and whenever we listen to that appointed leader and no one really questions them, everyone's just like, yeah, okay, that works, listening to that leader, it makes us sound really robotic, and you don't want to be boring. So adding your own input, sharing your own viewpoints really, really helps make your presentations not boring, stuff like that. You'll find that members of your group all have unique qualities that they can add to bring to the presentation to life. You want your presentations to be lively. I know I don't want to sit where you guys are sitting and have to stare up at me and be like, oh my God, this girl is so boring. I don't want to do that. So helping having my group members here to help me kind of liven up my presentation